Once upon a time, in a small, quiet village nestled between rolling hills, lived a man named Arthur. Now, Arthur was a good man, kind-hearted and hard-working, but he had one big problem. He saw a problem in everything. If the sun was shining, he'd worry about getting a sunburn. If it rained, he'd complain about the mud. His life was a constant stream of sighs and worries, and his face was permanently etched with a frown. One day, the village elder, a wise old woman named Ilara, noticed Arthur's gloom. She watched him grumble about the birds singing too loudly and the wind being too breezy. She decided it was time for a little chat. She approached him as he was fretting over a tiny crack in his fence. She said with a gentle smile, "I have a challenge for you. For 1 week, I want you to find one good thing, just one opportunity in every problem you encounter." Arthur scoffed. "An opportunity in a problem? It's impossible, Ilara. A problem is just a problem." Ilara simply smiled and said, "Just try." For me, reluctantly, Arthur agreed. Kay thought it was a silly game, but he respected Ilara. The very next morning, Arthur woke up to find his roof was leaking. Drip, drip. "Oh, for goodness sake," he started to say, but then he remembered Ilara's challenge. He stared at the puddle forming on his floor. A problem, for sure, but an opportunity. He thought hard. Well, the bucket he placed under the leak was collecting clean rainwater. He realized he could use that water for his vegetable garden instead of hauling it from the well. He felt a tiny, unfamiliar flicker of satisfaction. It wasn't so bad after all. Later that day, on his way to the market, the wheel of his cart broke. This was a disaster. His produce would spoil. He was about to kick the cart in frustration when he stopped. The challenge, opportunity. What possible opportunity could there be in a broken cart? He looked around, exasperated. His cart was stuck right in front of the home of a young family he'd never spoken to before. The father, seeing Arthur's predicament, came out to help. As they worked together to fix the wheel, they started talking. Arthur learned the man was a skilled carpenter who had been looking for work. Arthur needed a new chicken coop. They struck a deal right there on the spot. Kay not only got his wheel fixed, but he also made a new friend and found the perfect person for a job he'd been putting off. The next day, a storm rolled in, much stronger than usual. The fierce wind blew down a large, old tree in Arthur's yard, blocking his path completely. This was a huge problem. He couldn't leave his house. He paced back and forth, his old habit of worrying creeping back in. Then he stopped and took a deep breath. Opportunity. He looked at the fallen tree. It was a massive oak, a tree that had been there for generations. Instead of seeing a roadblock, he started to see something else. He saw firewood for the entire winter, maybe even 2. He saw lumber to build that new chicken coop the carpenter was going to help with. He saw a chance to carve small toys for the village children from the leftover branches. What started as a major obstacle had transformed into a treasure trove of resources. Throughout the week, the challenges continued. A batch of his bread burned in the oven. Problem, but the charred smell reminded him he hadn't cleaned his oven in years. opportunity. He gave it a thorough cleaning, and the next loaf he baked was the best he'd ever made. He lost his favorite knife in the field. Problem. But while searching for it, he discovered a patch of rare, delicious wild mushrooms he could sell at the market. Opportunity. With each problem he faced and each opportunity he found, something inside Arthur began to shift. The permanent frown on his face started to soften. He found himself smiling more. He was no longer just Arthur, the worrier. He was becoming Arthur, the problem solver. Arthur, the opportunist. People in the village noticed the change. They saw him laughing. They heard him sharing his stories of turning mishaps into miracles. His energy was infectious. At the end of the week, he went to see Alara. She was sitting in her garden, tending to her roses. She looked up at him, her eyes twinkling. Well, Arthur, was it impossible? Arthur broke into a wide grin. Lara, he said, his voice filled with a new kind of energy. It was the most incredible week of my life. I used to think the world was just a series of problems to endure. But you showed me something amazing. Every problem, every single one, is just an opportunity wearing a disguise. My roof leak gave me water for my garden. My broken cart introduced me to a new friend. The fallen tree gave me warmth and wood. It's all about how you choose to see it, he continued. My life didn't magically become perfect. The problems didn't go away, but I changed. I learned that I have the power to decide what I focus on. Do I focus on the broken wheel, or do I focus on the new friendship? Do I focus on the fallen tree, or do I focus on the warm fire it will provide? It's a choice. Alara nodded. That, my dear Arthur, is the secret. The power isn't in avoiding problems. The power is in your perspective. You can't always control what happens to you, but you can always control how you respond to it. You can see a stumbling block, or you can see a stepping stone. From that day on, Arthur was a transformed man. He still faced challenges, just like everyone else. But now, whenever a problem arose, he would smile and ask himself a simple question: where's the opportunity here? His life became richer, happier, and far more exciting. He became a beacon of positivity in the village, teaching others what Alara had taught him. He showed them that a positive mindset wasn't about ignoring the bad, but about finding the good within it. The story of Arthur is a powerful reminder for all of us. We will face leaky roofs and broken wheels. The question is, what will we do? Or will we, like Arthur, learn to look for the opportunity hidden within every problem? The choice, my friends, is always ours. Your perspective is your greatest power. Thank you so much for watching. If this story resonated with you, please hit that like button and subscribe for more inspirational content.